Hello and welcome back to my Battle of Dazar'alor raid guide, and the next boss is King Rastakhan. Now before you start you need to organise your raid into two groups. You need to work out who's going to go into the Death Realm in phase 3. So half the raid will be dragged into the Death Realm with one Samdi, so you need to sort that out first. So it's going to be whichever players are closest to Samdi just before phase 3, they'll get dragged in, so you want to get that organised first. That's really important. You're going to start off with the bodyguards of King Rastakhan. Ideally you want everyone to be stacked up near the boss or as close as possible, because there will be a spell that the bodyguards cast called Meteor Leap, which you'll set to target one player, and everyone needs to move to them to minimize the damage. So the damage is basically split between anyone next to that player, so always make sure that that damage is split, otherwise it will just one shot whoever it hits if you're on your own. So you can see one tank is off tanking King Rastakhan and the other one is tanking the two bodyguards there. So there is also going to be Plague of Toads, which is spawned by King Rastakhan. He'll send out 3 frogs that will just jump in a straight direction. You can see where they're going, so just watch out you don't get hit, or somebody can soak them if necessary, but it's best just to move out of the way. And watch out for the fire laser beam, which will follow one player. You just need to try and kite that out of the raid as far as possible, just so it doesn't damage anybody. And then once the bodyguards are dead, everyone will get stunned briefly before the next phase starts. So one Samdi is going to come out now, and this will be phase 2. So there's also going to be another debuff that will get cast on players in phase 2 onwards, which is Plague of Fire. So if you get Plague of Fire, you've just got a couple of seconds to get away from everybody, otherwise the debuff will spread to whoever's close to you, and that can just go on endlessly. So if you get the debuff, run away as quick as possible. Anyone who stands within, I think it's about 30 yards of one Samdi, will get a debuff, which is just taking damage. So only really one healer who needs to be healing the tank who's tanking one Samdi needs to be in the 30-yard radius, so everyone else needs to be outside. So you can see one tank is off on the other side away from everybody, tanking one Samdi. There will be these zombie totems which will spawn, and it will mind control one player until the totem is destroyed. So when that happens, just everyone swap DPS to the totem, make sure that's killed ASAP. There will be death doors which will spawn on players. You need to try and drop them around the edge of the room. You can see those green looking door things there, so just make sure that you don't place them in the middle of the raid if possible. But they'll be used later on in the fight, so just continue with the damage to King Rastakhan while the other tank is keeping one Samdi away from everybody else. So keep on moving away from people when you've got the Plague of Fire debuff, make sure that doesn't spread, and if you get Death's Door, just make sure you drop it at the edge when it expires. So when it's coming close to the end of phase 2, just remember which half of the raid you're in, if you're going to the Death Realm or not. You need to make sure you're trying to get closer to one Samdi before the next phase begins. Otherwise you don't want to be dragged in when you're not supposed to be, and you don't want to be left out if you're supposed to be getting dragged in. So everyone get close to one Samdi now, and he will drag you through the Death Realm. So in the Death Realm, there's going to be these blobs flailing about everywhere. You want to be dodging those. You will be gaining stacks of Withering something, I can't remember the name, Withering Death maybe. You're going to be getting stacks of that, which deals ticking damage if you want to remove the stacks, you can just go through one of the death doors to drop the stacks off. So just keep avoiding the blobs that are floating about because they do cause a lot of damage, and just watch your stacks. If your stacks get too high, just go through one of the death doors. If you're not in the death realm, if you're in the living realm, then you'll also be gaining these stacks of withering, whatever it's called, and to same as for people in the death realm, if you just go through a death door, you'll drop the stacks. Okay, next phase, phase 4. Everyone's back in the living realm. Everyone wants to be killing King Rastakhan as soon as possible. You're still going to have all the other mechanics still going on, so you're going to have to watch out for the toads spawning. You're going to have to watch out for these balls floating around. You need to look out for things coming out of death doors. And the Plague of Fire, move out of that. When he casts Inevitable End, you want to run as far away as you can because he will drag everyone into him. That's King Rastakhan. You want to just keep pushing back against the pull, and if you get dragged into him, you will probably be killed. If you don't kill King Rastakhan quick enough, you'll probably wipe, because this whole phase, once MD is sort of channeling a buff to King Rastakhan, which increases all damage dealt by 2% every 15 seconds. So that is just going to keep stacking up and up on King Rastakhan until it may just overwhelm the raid. So we just want to DPS King Rastakhan down as soon as possible. Keep doing the mechanics. Run away again when he does Inevitable End, or you'll probably die. Keep on healing through, and you will be fine. He's nearly dead. Thanks for watching, and I hope it was helpful to you. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.